10,000 bodies a year come through here.
10,000 bodies a year, baby. Go right through these very doors. And the demon's playground, is here now.
It's going to be difficult to understand. Understand? Well, he has no lips.
Hello, Freddy. Why? I'm so glad to see that you're feeling better. Had a very close call. But you're gonna be all right. Now, just lie still. I'm gonna give you something. It's gonna make you feel even better.
¿Qué dice la banda? ¿Cómo están? Estamos transmitiendo completamente en vivo desde la cueva del Bull Terrier FM. Está aquí mi amigo Joel. Ahora nos vemos los dos al mismo tiempo.
¿Cómo están, pandillas?
Sí, y...
sí,
pues
yo
bueno.
me quedé como que saludé como que me clavé en la pantalla. Pero ¿cómo están, pandilla? Aquí un gustazo, como siempre, saludarles. ¿Cómo estás, Gabito?
Muy bien, todo perfecto aquí, llegando a la transmisión.
Empezamos duro, ¿no? Pura carnita.
Empezamos con todo, sí. Empezamos con una... Con una rola, empezamos suave, con una banda que se llama Slomosa, de Noruega.
De Noruega.
Se llama In My Mind's Desert, la rola. Me salió un video así aleatorio. Ayer estaba viendo algunos en vivos de unas bandas y me salió un video así de Slomosa y dije, bueno, a ver qué tal. Está chido, muy a la onda de Cayus, del
Queens,
rock.
¿no?
Ajá, Queens, del rock del desierto, de Fu Manchu.
Sí, exacto.
Tengo mucho de esa ondita como rock, como
pesado.
Como stoner, suavezón, no sé, muy del desierto.
Más melodicón, ¿no?
Ajá, muy melódico, muy como muy a gusto de escuchar.
Uh-huh.
Y bueno, pues escuchamos esa rolita y después una recomendación de Joel que se llama Candiria con la canción Mathematics.
No, hombre, Candiria es de mis bandas favoritas, una bandota, pues, o sea, ellos son de Nueva York, salieron como de la escena del New York hardcore, como noventero, 2000ero, pero su ¿cómo podría decir? Su appeal, su atracción para mí fue como la mezcla de diferentes géneros, ¿no? O sea, pues tienen esas partes ponchadas, por así decirlo, del hardcore. Del hardcore neoyorquino, debería aclarar. Y de repente, güey, mezclan. Creo que en ese disco, no me acuerdo cómo se llama. Tienen así canciones de salsa, güey, de jazz, güey. Tienen varias de hip hop, pero hip hop chingón, güey, así como medio darky. Y tienen un chingo de invitados, güey. Es una bandota, güey. La neta, escuchen Candiria. Todos tienen uno que se llama Surreal Madness. Tienen... me choca que se me olvidan los nombres de los discos. Pero bueno, pónganle ahí Candiria y escuchen su discografía. Y ellos por ahí como del 2003 tuvieron un accidente en una van.
Órale. Pero
terrible, güey. Y luego sacaron un disco después de un par de años de ese accidente que se llama What Doesn't Kill You. Uh-huh. Y la portada es la van destrozada, güey.
Órale, qué loco.
Sí, ese disco en lo personal no me gusta porque ya le tiran un poco más como al new metal melódico y dices como a cámara. Ajá. No es lo mío. Pero sus discos anteriores son una joya, güey. Escuchen Candiria.
Qué bien, qué bien. Ahí apúntenle la recomendación de Joel. Y después nos pudrimos así al máximo con una banda de California, de Santa Rosa, que se llama Necropsy Odor. Nos echamos todo su primer cassette.
Me encantan esos
dura 10 minutos y se llama Tales from the Tepid Cavity. Es su primer demo que los llevó ya a tocar así Europa, ya se hicieron famosos con ese demo y estuvieron rolando con una banda danesa que se llama Undergang y pues están con todo.
Güey, el death metal está de vuelta, güey, sí, making a comeback, güey. Está bien cabrón, güey. Yo cada vez veo más bandas. Estábamos hablando de una Caustic Wound o algo así, que no tienen Instagram, güey. Lo que te decía, eso los hace más legit,
más true, ¿no? Así más misteriosos, como antes, ¿no? Que no sabías cómo eran, no sabías cómo en los 90s, ¿no? Que no sabías neta nada, güey. Y de repente ya los veías en una revista y dices, órale. ¿Qué onda,
eso,
no?
Claro, güey, eso está bien misterio. Cabrón. Eso era bien interesante porque, o sea, tú veías, no sé, voy a decir algo, Sepultura, ¿no? Acababan de sacar el Roots y es como, a ver qué pedo, ya lo escuchas y te los imaginabas de una forma y luego meses después ya, no sé, Max ya no tenía pelo o cosas así, ¿no? Como, y ahora como todo es tan inmediato, ya no existe esa sorpresa, ese factor sorpresa, ¿no?
Sí, estaba chido, ¿no? Esa parte de no conocer,
Sí,
no saber
claro,
cómo era.
güey. Sí, porque ahorita pues ya te metes y ya ves hasta cosas que a mí luego digo, no mames, o sea, Max Cavalero, hola amiguitos, los invito a mi tocada, a mi tour y eso. Pues es lo que tienen que hacer las bandas, lo entiendo perfecto.
Sí.
Pero
sí,
antes
sí.
ese misterio así como de que tenías que ir al Sanborns, lo hemos platicado varias veces aquí, ¿no?
A ver las revistas,
A
¿no?
ver las revistas y el Metal Hammer, el Kerrang, Circus, ¿no? Y ya años después el AP, ¿cómo se llamaba? Alternative Press, ¿te acuerdas de esa?
AP, ajá.
Ajá,
Sí, que era
AP.
como más de punk rock.
Sí,
y
sí.
de repente muy emo, ¿no?
Y ya después, ya como a mediados de los 2000 se hizo muy emo, metalcore, pero antes era una revistota, güey, así descubrías bandas, ¿no? Pero sí existía ese, así como de, a ver, ¿cómo se ve ahora Tom Araya de Slayer, ¿no? Ahora que ya están tocando medio new metal, ¿no?
Ajá.
Y ya ves, no, y con sus panzadidas o... Sí, era bonito ese misterio, güey.
Sí, e ir a verlas al Sanborns, ¿no? Yo me acuerdo que iba y también veía las revistas de patinetas. Y luego veían estampas y ya me sacaba mis estampitas de ahí, güey, de las revistas, güey, acá.
Sí, o luego estaban ya como desgrapadas de tanto que le veía a la gente, que ya abrías y se caía el póster.
Sí,
O sea, robaban los pósters.
Pues es que era un buen lugar de consulta, ¿no? De cosas.
Sí.
Bueno, especialmente para música y skate y... No sé si todavía lleguen esas revistas.
Güey, ya, es que...
Tiene años que no voy a la sección
eso.
de revistas.
Sí, es curioso,
de ahí.
güey. Muy buena pregunta, güey. Pues es que ya no es necesario, güey.
Alguien de la banda que nos esté escuchando
Que nos diga.
todavía sabe si hay estas revistas en las tiendas, especialmente en el Sanborns era donde había, ¿no?
¿Sabes qué otra cosa? Yo que soy un poco más grande que ustedes,
Sí.
yo coleccionaba cómics cuando estaba en mi adolescencia y ahí era la primera vez donde los ibas a ver. O sea, donde yo podía ir a comprar cómics gringos.
Órale, la MAD, yo me acuerdo, ¿no? Ahí
sí.
estaba.
Pero sí, los de Superman, los de Batman, ibas a ir al Sanborns.
Van llegando las estrellas aquí a este programa. Hoy está sucediendo un milagro, una vez más.
Una vez más se unieron.
Se unieron las estrellas y se alinearon los planetas porque ya llegó Román.
¿Dónde está?
A ver, ¿sí la atiné a tu? ¿Sí la atiné a tu ese? Sí.
Pero a ver, igual yo me muevo.
A ver, espérame. O igual, sí, ándale, sí, muévete para allá para que la banda esté
Aquí,
de un lado.
Ándale.
Ah, sí, ponte ahí al lado
al lado
de
de
Román.
¿dices?
Y ya sentamos a toda la banda ahí.
Se va a poner bueno hoy, ¿no?
Sí. Oye, abrí el programa, le contaba a Joel que estaba viendo ayer conciertos, güey. Y me eché un set de Slomosa. Está bien chida esa banda, güey. Pues me recordó 100% sonido Fumanchu, Cayus, así es como una fotocopia casi de ese sonido, ¿no?
Sí, justo pues le pegaron.
A ver, espérame, déjame, les abro sus micros, ahí está.
Ahí está.
Listo, Calixto.
Justo Slomosa es de esas bandas que sí dieron el salto, ¿no? Son como con todas las bandas que muy rápidamente se pueden posicionar y se conocen
Sí.
como a nivel mundial, ¿no? Como pasa de repente con bandas como Sleeve, por ejemplo,
Ándale.
Elder, bandas así en su momento que son como le empieza a gustar a la gente y de repente pum, explota, ¿no? Y
Explotó
Slomosa
brutal, ¿no?
es de esas. Justo han tocado ya todos los festivales, Hellfest,
Sí.
Desertfest, todo, pero pues se me hace una buena avanza. Es justo stoner, ¿no? No hay como que buscarle tres
Ajá, no hay que
pies al
buscarle tres
gato.
pies.
Bien directote.
Muy
Bien
directo.
directote, melódico, está muy, pues está ameno de escuchar.
Sí, es buena banda. La verdad es que
Sí,
no es de mis favoritas realmente, pero sí tiene como ese espíritu fumante.
sí me lo imaginé, como que es como la punta del iceberg, ¿no?
Exacto.
Es así como de todos esos sonidos y toda esa influencia de las bandas noventeras del desierto, como pues ya pasado a este...
No,
a
perdón, iba a decir algo.
pasado a estos tiempos, ¿no? Y como con ese, pero muy con ese sonido noventero ya comprobado y calado y garantizado, ¿no?
Sí, ya son las fórmulas hechas, ¿no? Solamente como que son más morros, se reinventa un poco y atrae nuevo público, creo yo, ¿no? Y pasa en todos los géneros, ¿no? O sea, en el punk creo que es muy notorio, ¿no? Que de repente Turnstile, ¿no? Es un ejemplo.
Ándale.
Turnstile, sí.
Bueno, pero igual esa banda lleva mucho tiempo, como 20 años,
pero
creo.
fue
¿Tocaron?
ese...
Sí, güey.
Órale.
Pero
sí,
fue
antes tocaban así chuga.
Hardcore, sí, de Snapcase.
Ajá.
Pero justo abrieron como esa llave, ¿no? Como ya sabes,
Sí.
estas bandas ahora que tienen esa fórmula Turnstile. Es como una fórmula que siguen.
Lo que iba a decir de Eslomosa es que se me hace muy interesante que traen un sonido del desierto y esos güeyes son de la nieve.
Sí.
¿No? Son de Noruega, güey.
Son de Noruega, pero sí traen todo el sonido así, pues hasta han de traer los mismos pedales, los mismos amplis. Bueno, vi que usaban Fender, combos Fender. Está bastante chido.
Sí, turearon. Sí te dije, con Helmet. Hicieron
Órale.
un tour largo, güey, con Helmet en el gabacho, güey.
Sí, bueno, pues se ve que es una banda... No sé cuánto tiempo tengan, pero se ve que son
jóvenes, ¿no?
Son jóvenes.
Jóvenes y vi que van a tocar en el Sonic Blast.
Justo,
también.
ahí vamos a tocar con ellos.
Huevo,
y
qué chido.
va a estar entretenido. Justo vamos a ver con bandas muy chidas que están saliendo. Una que se llama Castle Rat, no sé si la topas.
No, ahorita
Está bien
ponemos
chido
a ver.
porque todos salen vestidos con personajes, ¿no? O sea, uno sale como la peste.
Órale.
Otros como una morra así, ya sabes, vikinga acá, con su espada, güey, pintada, güey. Entonces todos tienen como un personaje, un vampiro, güey, creo que el bajista, güey. Y está muy peculiar, güey, es una muy, muy buena banda.
Castle Rat.
Castle Rat, están pegándole durísimo.
¿Y qué es igual? ¿Stoner, Doom?
Mejor vas a escucharlos. Tú dirás.
Vamos a poner una rolita del Castle Rat. A ver qué es.
¿Con qué se come?
Rata del
¿Con
castillo.
qué se come?
Vámonos.
Se come
Vámonos con esta rolita. Déjenme la sintonizo acá en mi Walkman.
No, como no. La aguja, ¿no? Que suene. Sacamos el vinil.
Estaría verguísima así tener
Castle Rat.
acá, güey.
Vamos a ver. A ver qué rolita. ¿Has escuchado alguna de sus rolas? Órale, se ve como heavy metalero.
Échele.
Qué
Se va a
chido.
sorprender.
Vamos a escuchar esta rola que se llama Wizard del Castle Rat. Y regresamos aquí a su Overdrive. Los Tres Mosqueteros.
Los tres chiflados.
vuelta con nuestro casco, nuestra espada, así con nuestras capas. Escuchamos.
Acá la sigo escuchando.
Sí, como que
rolón.
tiene un delay ahí, una latencia.
El
un poco
rolón,
larga.
Brujas,
Escuchamos.
Dragones,
Exacto.
La
exacto.
Peste Negra y por supuesto Heavy Metal.
Heavy metal. Escuchamos al Castle Rat,
Que-
esta banda que toca en el Sonic Blast
que-
allá en
que
Portugal
les
también.
dije que está buena,
Está bien chido, traen toda esta estética setentera, ¿no? Así, y pues bueno, disfraces, ¿no?
Está divertidísima, la
como
neta.
de heavy metal.
La neta se las recomendamos porque traen todo un trip que, pues eso, visualmente te prende, ¿no? Como que los ves y dices, no mames, así vamos a cantar, como en El Señor de los Anillos, ¿no? Que es como Jalas también esta banda.
Ándale, Jalas también,
Es de ese
güey.
pedo, de ese cotorreo, ¿no?
Qué
Como-
chido que van a estar en el Candelabrum, ¿no?
Justo.
Pues ya todas las bandas ya van a tocar aquí. Hasta se enciman fechas, no, una locura de shows ahora.
Sí.
Escoja su mejor show y cuide su cartera. Sobre todo aquí en el programa les alentamos a que vayan a ver a las bandas nacionales, que son las bandas que más necesitan de ustedes.
Exacto.
Justo.
Los grandes festivales y los grandes promotores, pues bueno, ya tendrán su público y ya lo tienen de alguna u otra manera, pero siempre acá en el programa levantamos la bandera de las bandas nacionales independientes.
Justo,
Exacto.
justo. Y pues hay un montón de shows para que usted se descuelgue. Este viernes va a tocar Vivi, que ahí está JP, Octopulpo también, Peace y Soga. Esto va a ser en el Denso Rock, viernes 18 de julio. Metro Revolución para que usted le caiga a cotorrear. Por supuesto va a estar bueno ese show. También el 18 va a estar justo nuestros invitados que ahorita van a llegar. Warp Chamber por ahí. Reverence, Castelumbra. ¿Quién más va a estar por ahí?
Y Degraved van a estar en el Folk of Room, ahí en la colonia Condesa, este sitio que está muy bueno. Ya tocó Carcas ahí, ya tocaron varias bandas.
Viejos, dicen
Viejos,
que estuvo bueno.
ajá.
Yo no pude ir a Viejos, le quedé mal al Jordi. Me enfermé, pero bueno, escuché que suena bien verde ahí.
Sí, sí, sí.
Suena brutal.
Buen lugar, sí.
También el mismo día, el 18, va a estar Saturn Sunset Images en AIBT. Esto va a ser en el Rebel Rock. Y de hecho nos mandaron un boleto. Si hay algún fan que esté escuchando y que quiera un boleto gratis, solamente escríbanos en nuestro Instagram, el Overdrive MX. El primero que nos escriba se lo lleva un boleto para ver a Saturn Sunset
Perfecto.
Images en AIBT. Viernes 18 de julio en el Rebel.
Naivete, perdón que te interrumpa. Naivete es la banda de uno de Ex Joliet, ¿no?
Sí, justo también. Sí, es una banda igual como un poco screamo, hardcore,
sí, está
como de ese cotorreo. Está bueno el cartel.
Cramps le dicen
Cramps,
también.
ok. Y bueno, si late más el Merol también, el 19, va a ser el Beyond the Eternal. Esto va a estar Star Force, que es una gran banda de heavy metal que la están rompiendo durísimo. Va a ser en el HDX, en el Hendrix Bar, para que me entienda. Hellmedian también va a estar por ahí, entonces pues no se lo pierda.
Al dragones, unicornios,
Sí.
espadas.
Buena banda, el Star Force por ahí van a estar también.
Están chidos. Tocamos con ellos en el Candelabrum. Buena banda,
Muy buena
Tocan
banda,
muy
van a
bien
estar.
y buena onda.
Igual,
Sí.
¿no? Dragones.
Sí,
fantasía.
esa onda.
Heavy metal al máximo.
Oigan, y hablando de dragones y de heavy metal, ¿qué les pareció el último concierto de Black Sabbath?
Yo estaba platicando justo la semana pasada de eso y también ahí en Reactor decíamos que está chido como del lado de Ozzy, como ya su retiro de Ozzy, pero para mí venderlo como el último concierto de Sabbath sin que hicieran referencia a Dio, a Cozy Powell, a Glenn Hughes, a todos los que han pasado, a Ian Gillan,
claro.
como que siento que esa fue una parte de Sabbath que borraron de un tajo, ¿no? Y no hubo referencia a ellos y por eso para mí fue como de sí, pero no, o sea, decir que es el último concierto de Sabbath, pero no hablar del legado del Sabbath completo, como que me quedó ahí un poco, o sea, que hacían muchos artistas que no tuvieron nada que ver con la banda, ¿no?
Claro.
Entonces, pues así.
Pues
Bueno, ya nuestros invitadazos.
Hi. How are
Han
you?
llegado nuestros invitados a la cabina.
Hola, Joel, mucho gusto.
Welcome, sit down.
Mucho gusto.
Ajá.
Bien. Hola. ¿Cómo estás?
Got the wall of swag behind it.
Good. Welcome guys.
Warp Chamber y The Grave están en la casa
van llegando, se van acomodando. Y bueno, un concierto también que le pueden calar si les late más las cumbias y el western, por supuesto, es Gallo Negro con Twin Tones. Esto va a ser el 25. El 25, para que ustedes se vayan armando. Van a presentar una caja, los Gallo Negro, con 7 que son singles de todos sus discos, ¿no? Va a ser una compilación. Entonces, pues hay varios shows para que usted le caiga, se cuadre. Y pues bueno, mientras vamos a entrar en materia con nuestros invitados. Ya estamos, Maestro Gabo, para abrir las cámaras, los micrófonos.
Ya estamos.
¿O quieres echar una rolita y regresamos?
Ya, de una vez. Ya estamos.
Caliente no se siente.
Eso, ahí está.
Hello,
Warp
guys.
Chamber. Hello, guys.
Yeah, how's it going?
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Mucho bien.
Dude, thank you for having us.
Our pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us in this interview. So we're very excited for your visit in Mexico. So how are you?
Yeah, good. Eating a lot of tacos, hanging out.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, no doubt.
Real tacos.
Real tacos.
No hard tacos. No hard shell tacos. Are you a fan of hard shell tacos?
No, we are not. Officially, no.
I'm sorry, I make them all the time at home. Soy un gringo.
También nuestro querido Leo, nuestra estrella. Por acá está llegando. Siéntate. Me siento, caballero.
Algo, ¿no?
Sí. So we always open the interviews. We love to know the background, the history of you guys. So how you guys get involved in heavy music? Do you remember the first band that changed your world and you decide to pick up an instrument and say, hey, this is my stuff? Can you remember that moment? Which band?
Take it away, Nels.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Cannibal Corpse and Ace Ventura.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the rest is history from there.
How about you guys?
The first heavy music I heard was Obituary, and slowly we rot, and the vocals completely blew my mind.
Like before listening to Slayer and shit like that?
Yeah, that was the first heavy music that a friend put me on, and I couldn't really believe what I was hearing.
Oh, wow. That's wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Nick?
First thing that wanted me to play death metal was probably Onward to Golgotha, the Incantation record.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's hard.
Yeah, it was amazing record. Can't overstate how awesome that record is.
Start with the heavy stuff.
What about you, baby?
Mine was much more embarrassing. I think it was like Between the Buried and Me or The Red Chord.
But
some metalcore stuff.
Between the Buried and Me is pretty cool too. Like very technical.
I think they're still okay, you know. In a way.
Yeah, I saw them like 20 years ago or so. They were great. I mean, it's not my favorite band, but
Yeah, I mean, when I was like 14, it was like.
Yeah, it would be the same for me.
Yeah.
For sure. But for example, you listen to Cannibal Corpse, Obituary as your first introduction to metal. Did you go back and listen to Metallica, Slayer, and you were like, this is kind of lame?
No, I thought it was sick.
Yeah. It's sick.
Almost, maybe sicker, maybe cooler.
Because for me, it was Sepultura. I'm 45. Sepultura and Slayer. But then I went back and no offense, please, no offense, but I listened to Judas Priest and I'm like,
come on.
Yeah.
I said no offense.
You're like, it's not as.
So don't
doesn't quite hit as hard. Yeah,
I mean, I understand how important they are. But it's not the same. I mean,
not the same at all.
No, but I like it. I mean, but Slayer is Slayer and Sepultura and Pantera.
I mean, I started getting into death metal when I was in my 20s, but like, I think the like a really big one for me when I was like 14, 13, like that age, like 9 Inch Nails was huge.
Wow, yeah,
for me.
Yeah.
I've seen them a few times. Like that was just like.
Never see them. I heard they put a great show.
They're awesome.
Awesome live.
You're going on tour.
Best concerts I've ever went to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sí, de los mejores conciertos. Hablan acá la banda de sus primeros acercamientos a la música heavy. Por allá dicen que Cannibal Corpse en la película de Ace Ventura. Obituary.
Que van a estar en el Candelabrum, por cierto.
Cierto, sí. Ese es el festival que más nos gusta aquí en el programa. Entonces, if you ever get invited to Candelabrum, Do it. Play the.
Let's do it. We have a flyer
hope so.
over there.
We want to.
It's a good one.
We're waiting for our invitation.
Let's make it happen.
Bring it on.
Kesha.
Hey,
ahí te hablan.
Kesha.
Leo, you never answered the question. What was the band that made you, or the earliest heavy band
I
for
could
you?
say Sepultura and Slayer, but honestly, and I'm shame here, like I wasn't that much into heavy music at the time, and then I would say that first or second Slipknot records really were the ones that got me like attracted to like play heavy and fast.
Yeah.
Totally.
The first one is pretty heavy. The first I was listening to it like a couple of months ago, and it has like really heavy shit.
Yeah.
Other than the occasionally flow, it has like heavy riffing, some
blast beats
blast
too.
beats, and yeah, it's only that they're kind of cheesy at some point.
Yeah.
But like the first two albums, they're tremendous.
I like. I didn't. I'm still waiting for my Slipknot phase to come around. I know it's going to happen eventually. Because I got
It's
a lot
never
of,
too late.
I got a lot of appreciation for new metal. But I was watching a video of them live, and it's kind of crazy because it's like a video of them back in the day live, like Iowa era, and it's crazy because it's like a really really tight 5-piece, and then there's like 4 other motherfuckers up there just like running around and screaming,
Yeah, they're like banging shit.
just hitting shit.
Yeah, lighting themselves on fire and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Always, I would love to know about your local scene. I mean, when I get into music, I started more with 70s music and stoner rock doom. I'm a big fan. I'm into that scene.
Cool.
So I miss like new metal and that kind of music. No, I jumped directly to stoner doom, whatever. And this scene in Mexico is super small, so we start to organize shows with friends, and we start to release our records by our own, and then we start to send our music to some magazines, some websites, and suddenly some labels basically in the UK, in Germany, decide to sign some Mexican bands, and that's how Mexican bands and the scene start to growing. So, but in your case, I mean, the metal scene probably is so different. So, can you tell us about how is still your local scene?
Well, we all live in kind of different places, but we're kind of generally in the Pacific Northwest area between like Portland and Seattle and Olympia. And yeah, there's a lot of really killer bands out there that are playing all the time. I'm sure that these two guys in particular are from Seattle, but we're down and shows in Portland a lot. We love Hemorrhoid. We've been seeing them a lot lately.
Hemorrhoid?
Yeah, they rip.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. But I think more broadly, the West Coast scene is kind of like a little more connected. Everybody kind of knows everybody from LA to the Bay to the Pacific Northwest. And so
That's a pretty part of the States. It's my favorite part.
It's gorgeous.
Beautiful. Yeah,
You've
yeah,
been,
yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Like I did like a tour over there, and the view is amazing.
Yeah, beautiful.
I haven't spent much time in Seattle nor Portland, but the time that I've been there is like, wow, this is beautiful. Like I could live there.
Yeah, man.
But it's very it rains a lot, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's good weather for making death metal.
Yeah, for sure.
Very bleak and sad and sorrowful.
I actually learned it rains more in Mexico City than in Seattle recently.
Probably, yeah.
So if you can deal with it here, you can definitely deal with the Pacific
The
Northwest.
vibe's way better here though.
Yeah, the vibe here is awesome. I do. I have the facts. Yeah, no. Seattle and Portland both have awesome scenes. I think it's been a pretty fertile ground for the last at least 15 years for heavy music, for death metal and black metal too. There's tons of awesome bands.
It's making it's not making a comeback, but like for I guess for the last 5 years I've been listening to a lot of bands coming from that area, right?
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
really interesting. Do you think it has to do with weather? Because I mean, you had the grunge era, right? From
Totally.
Seattle, and grunge is very sad and gray. But what about like death metal?
I think there's like a history of kind of heavier and darker music that just has kind of persisted in that area for a long time. So I feel like people are always kind of gravitating towards that.
Yeah. It's like you wanna just go inside and play music, right?
Yeah, totally.
As opposed to being outside and rain and.
But then it's so lush and beautiful that it's kind of inspiring at the same time.
I recently interviewed the guys of Agaloch.
Oh, cool.
And we discussed this topic. I mean, the relationship between nature and the heavy music, and specifically the combination of of black metal music with doom and all kind of this kind of music. And definitely nature is really an important part of the music. And I guess living in that area is really inspiring. It's like if you live in the forest with mountains and things like that. So
yeah, I don't think you can really separate like the weather from like the art and like, you know, culture that is going on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's even the same in Mexico City. It doesn't sound like the sad songs sound like violence, if that makes sense, because Mexico City is very aggressive. You know what I mean? Because I mean, we are surrounded by how many million of people live here? Like 20?
Yeah, we could tell in the luchas.
Yeah.
We were in the Tuesday.
Oh, nice.
People were gnarly, screaming shit.
Yeah. And you can feel that in the music, you know, like the Mexican bands from Mexico City, vaya la redundancia, they sound like Mexico City.
Totally.
It's interesting. I don't know why. Like, I mean, it's part of who you are.
Yeah, your environment.
Your environment, yeah.
Sí, eso lo vamos a notar con Reverence to Paroxysm y con Casa Lumbra también.
Sí.
They have that violent sound.
Yeah.
Pues aprovechando que tienen un show mañana, es la primera vez que la segunda de Warp Chamber y la primera que Degraved se va a presentar acá en México, pues pensé en invitarles y en que vinieran a compartirnos como sus experiencias a lo largo de los años aquí, y bueno, también es la primera vez que vienen con Degraved, ¿no? Y los nuevos integrantes de Warp Chamber. Es first time for Degraved and first time for some members of Warp Chamber, and I wanted to invite you to share to all the people that listens to us your experiences and your thoughts about Mexico City. I'm sure after tomorrow it will be different, but so far how you see it, how you see the city and all the Nils, it's Nils local. Nils is Mexicano, but can you tell the difference between the first
driving?
time?
The driving's fucking insane out here, dude. You gotta just like treat it like bumper cars and hope you win, you know? Just hit the road, and the rain is fucking crazy out there, and everything's flooding. Especially we're kind of kicking it a lot in like Coapa and that kind of area, and it's just like last night just flooding. You know?
Sí.
Yeah, everybody's ripping, and there's motorcycles left and right, and you're just like hoping you don't kill somebody, but I guess that's just a risk we all take when we fucking hop behind the wheel out here, huh?
Yeah.
Nils ya es local, es de Tlalpan.
Yeah.
Nils is de Cuapa.
You have a Mexican passport?
Well, let's give him another year.
Yeah, maybe, but
Honorary key to the city.
Coapa passport.
It's really interesting, the relationship with the city, the music, and the nature. But in your case, where is your main inspiration to create this aggressive music? I mean, it's really interesting because for so many people, this music is almost impossible to listen. It's like a taboo. But when you start to listen to this music, you start to love it, and suddenly it don't feel like a violence. You know, it feels more like something that you relax, more comfortable. But in your case, where you get the inspiration to create all these technical and heavy music, because it's not easy to play. Not all the persons can play this kind of music. I mean, I play doom metal because it's easy, it's low.
Not always, but yeah, totally. I understand how you mean. No, I don't know. For me personally, I'm just a little bit mad at the world. I read the news every day, and I feel sad about the state of affairs around the world. I feel guilty as an American about what we're doing to the world, and what we've been doing to the world since our country's founding. So it's a state of catharsis for me, I think, to be able to scream and feel mad at the world,
Yeah, I can't speak for everybody in Warp Chamber, but we just like love sci-fi and we love horror and we love like crazy ass video games and just like fucked up imagery, and we just kind of love the whole canon of extreme metal, and so we kind of just kind of trying to our best to create just like horrifying fun sci-fi.
That's really good. So I guess you are a big fans of John Carpenter, The Thing, and stuff like that.
For sure, absolutely.
I'm a big fan too. Tuner. So,
What's your favorite John Carpenter movie?
that's a tough question. Probably The Thing. Probably The Thing.
It's the shit.
Yeah.
So fucking scary.
Actually, I'm going to travel to Los Angeles to see John Carpenter on Halloween. Cool. I'm a big fan, so yeah, it's a dream come true finally.
Yeah, his soundtracks are awesome.
And it's really curious. I mean, I play in a stoner, more like a psychedelic space doom band, and we focus on sci-fi, space stuff, but it's, like slow sound samples, stuff like that. But it's really interesting that you follow the same topics but more in the faster way. So it's really interesting to see how the different artists express the ideas of one specific topic.
Totally. Yeah, we were kind of talking about it because I was listening to the Warp Chamber practice yesterday, and I was saying the riffs are so crazy, the riffs are so complicated, but there's such a good groove, and there's such a good groove and a soul to it, which is what Cahill was talking about. And so I think finding that balance of crazy riffs, aggressive music, but groove and something that your body wants to listen to is really cool.
Mm-hmm. That's everything, the mix of groove and heaviness.
Yeah. Finding that balance, and especially with Leo.
Yeah, because otherwise it's very straight up, and that's cool too, I guess. But when you have the groove part, that changes everything.
Yeah, just a part that comes on that you cannot help but headbang.
Well, yeah, for sure, it makes the difference, I think.
That's cool.
You guys should ask Cahill that question because they write the craziest fucking riffs.
No, I want to feel good in my body, even when it might hurt my body to play it.
Oh yeah. It's
sound good, feel good.
It's kind of you put your body to the limit.
Yeah.
Playing this music and it's
your mind.
And your mind, your body and your mind. And it feels good somehow.
Kind of like going for a long run.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's very stamina. ¿Cómo se dice en inglés? Stamina is the same. You need to work on that, right?
A whole lot.
And focus.
And fuck you.
And fuck you, everybody. No, not fuck you. Not fuck you, but focus.
No distractions.
No distractions. Yeah, that's what I didn't say fuck you at all.
But it came out great.
Yeah. But I mean, it's interesting with especially with genre like death metal and all of this, coming up with creative riffs, right? How do you come up with that? Do you have specific creative process? Is it more like a jam thing?
Normally it's just sitting down and practicing guitar, playing. Sometimes you get inspired, sometimes it's kind of chaotic.
But do you practice with the idea of writing something, or you just practice and the ideas come? I'm fascinated by everybody's creative process. Yeah.
If
you can share it.
Much harder to sit down and say I'm going to write a song. Much harder that way. So it's normally just having fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then something stands out, and then I follow that trail.
Okay, I don't know if you agree with this, but lately I have the idea that we are some sort of antenna, and we channel everything. As opposed of I mean, it comes through us as opposed of we're making it. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes total sense.
Yeah, we're conduits of the sickness.
Yeah. Do you guys see music like that, or yeah, music?
I agree. I fully agree.
Yeah, I think it's both. I think it's obviously being open to that and letting that kind of come out, but you also have to kind of refine your skill. And then finding the balance of refining your skill and having your chords sharp,
Yeah.
And then when that inspiration does come, then it can just be, open and just kind of flows out, but you're good at what you do,
Right. And do you have Sorry if I go deep in this, but I'm fascinated by the creative process. Do you guys have like a recording thing when you practice by yourself? Like, I don't know, like a recording like on your phone or something, or how you do it? Like, because sometimes I write riffs, especially when I'm high, and if I don't record that,
Are you
I
high?
no, not now. But if I don't record that, I lose it.
Yeah, totally.
And that's fucking frustrating.
Anxiety.
Yeah. So I kind of have to have it somewhere. But
The-
sometimes I don't even remember how to play it.
The Voice Memos app on my phone is full of riff ideas that I've recorded, and also I have a looper pedal as well, like a little Boss loop station.
Oh, the red
And,
one?
Yeah, that one's full of riffs as well. I think whenever I sit down, at least to write a Degraved song, I might go to that pedal first because it's got so many ideas where I was like, dude, this is good enough to record into this pedal and save for another time. So I usually end up, recording ideas into there, and those ideas more often than not become ideas or become full songs.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I don't know. To go back to your original question about writing and stuff, I think it kind of depends on the band and the specific kind of like band dynamic. Because Warp, Cahill writes a lot of riffs. I'm kind of newer, so I haven't contributed any riffs. I've just learned them. I write a lot of the riffs, or pretty much all the riffs for Degraved, and that's usually like a pretty deliberate process. Like I have like a home studio where I go out and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna write a song today.
Oh, cool.
Logan and I play in another band called Cystic, and that band's kind of interesting, where we actually all write together in the same room. I've only been in like a handful of bands that do that, and it's
Like jamming?
like basically like someone shows up with 3 or 4 riffs, like ideas, and yeah, we jam them and kind of like piece them together in the room together with live feedback from each other as to how it should go, writing tags together, everything. And that's a really special experience. We haven't been so active this year, but we've done stuff before. We went to play Total Death Over Mexico with Cystic about 3 years ago.
And how about sorry if I'm going too deep with this, but I'm fascinating. I've never played in a death metal band, but sometimes I jam with friends, but it's something different. So I wonder, like, how does a death metal jam look like?
Oh, it's just like
I have this.
Sometimes you're in there for 2 hours and you get 30 seconds of music done, because there's just, everybody's got to learn the riff, everybody's got to get it tight, and then it's like, hitting it over and over again, and then deciding between different tag ideas and stuff.
But you are coming up with ideas at the same time? Like, you practice the same riff, and you're like, okay, let's do this for 5 minutes. And then you let yourself go?
You mean like have like a jam after that where we kind of flow and let it?
Yeah, but
a little bit.
Yeah, I think it'll start with someone bringing in 2 or 3 riffs, and be like, all right, I want to teach you guys these riffs. Everyone learns it. Maybe we'll kind of loop the riff and jam it for a while, and then try and figure out, what feels natural to come next. Mm-hmm. Maybe try and figure out a transition together. Mm-hmm. Maybe someone else has another riff, and try and be like, all right, we have these 2 riffs. How do we make them work? Like, what does it need to flow together naturally?
Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah, so it's a process
to connect.
Having some riffs already kind of prepared, and then hearing everyone's contribution and kind of feeling the energy of the song and like what transition sounds cool, etc.
Okay.
But Warp and Degraved kind of have like a different dynamic where I think both bands have pretty new members, and so like it's just been kind of like
learning
songs. Yeah, exactly. Kind of showing up to practice and being like, all right, like I know the song, but I got like a few questions for like sections that maybe we can play just this section over or whatever. But for the most part, yeah, showing up and just learning songs or knowing songs.
Okay, thanks for answering.
Yeah, I would say
no worries.
Warp usually has a lot of material prepared that then we kind of like will workshop together.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in the creative process, also, it's very linked to whatever you listen to and what is your inspiration as other bands.
Yeah.
As not copying, but as a tribute. I don't know, like we hear together a lot of like Suffocation, and then it gives you some ideas like, oh, would be very cool to do something like this, but then go crazier or go faster or cut it in half. So that's like a lot of your DNA that you have from the bands you listen to. So
yeah, for
very
sure.
important to like acknowledge the influences.
That's very important. That's the thing that frustrates me a bit, because I'm very picky with that. If I write a riff and if it sounds similar to something that I heard before, I totally push it away. And I know that's not good, because like Leo said, it's part of who you are at the end of the day, of what you are surrounded by, what you listen to.
Yeah, it's kind of like tapping into the antenna.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool, it's like there's tons of parts in all of the bands, that were like, oh, this is a Dimlich part, or like, oh, this is this part, and it's like we refer to the riff by the like band.
Here comes the Suffocation part, or
totally.
Here comes the breakdown.
But I guess at some point you create your own style, your own sound as a person, as a band, because of course you can try to copy one band, like for example, I want to sound like Electric Wizard, like Candlemass, like whatever, but at some point you discover your formula, and that's your sound. How was that process for you guys, for each band? Because we start as a fans always and say, oh, okay, I want to create a riff like Suffocation or Obituary or whatever. But at some point you say, okay, I don't want to copy this. I want to create my own sound. I follow this way to create. We do pedals technology or whatever. But at the end, it's like, okay, this is my sound. And now from here, I'm going to start to create new things based on my sound. How was that process for you guys?
I would think with a name like Warp Chamber, that the band started with the sci-fi idea.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we were. It was. I mean, I think you got to be careful what you consume. Like you absorb it all. And so like, I don't know. I feel like we're always kind of doing our homework and doing our research and kind of like trying to be intentional in what we do. And I don't know. I don't listen to a lot of contemporary metal because I feel like I still have so much like old school stuff I'm barely scratching the surface on,
Interesting.
And I don't know, I guess I'm less interested more broadly in like something that's more derivative. I want to kind of get straight to the source when it comes to some kind of musical phenomenon.
Wow. So you are always, like you said, doing your research. Like, does that include watching movies, reading books, comics?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, and I feel like I'm always trying to like collect ideas for what I want to do musically, and I just feel like I'm always just trying to like kind of learn and expand and kind of like find new sicker ideas to kind of like fit into the broader vision. But I also don't think we have like a lot of these conversations collectively. You know what I mean? I think we just kind of like got lucky as a band and kind of like we're just all into like goofy, nerdy, sick, evil shit. And so maybe, I don't know. It's not like there is a lot of intentionality, especially like musically and stuff like that. And we're kind of like always showing each other sick shit. And, I trust my guys, like taste in music, and we're always putting each other on. But yeah, we're also not like always intentionally kind of like creating this vision together. I think we just got enough sickos in the same spot that something cool kind of came together.
So the thing that, I mean, of course, besides music, the thing that unites the members of your band is also like the sci-fi and all that. So you think it would be different if maybe you would be the only nerd that listens to that, or and I say nerd in a good way.
I mean, I think it would definitely be different, but I think like the thing that unites us is like being friends, like I think just like getting along
of course,
like being able to hang out, and it's just kind of how, I mean, we all kind of grew. I mean, a lot of us met, when we were older, but in the case of Warp and like the case of like me and Alan and Cahill and some of the previous guys in the band, I don't know, and I think in a lot of ways we all grew up together, and we all met in our early 20s and just were kind of like influencing each other and going to the same shows and watching the same movies and just like at the same parties and hanging out. So I think that like with Warp Chamber, what's really cool about our project is that we've all just been like friends forever, and we've kind of like all been able to shape our tastes together. So it feels very like natural, and I feel like we all kind of have like a similar goal and wanting to create like, something fun and exciting and, like that reflects our interest musically and aesthetically and visually and, kind of all those ways.
That's pretty cool because you're growing together somehow.
Like
Like musical and personally.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I mean, we come from like a really sick community of like a lot of different like really weird, cool bands that we've been able to like see over the years. So it's like, I mean, it's impossible to kind of like
Name drop some.
Well, the Pygus is a big one. We grew up with all those guys, or like
Sorry?
You grew up with him.
Well, not grow up with them. It's kind of hard.
You've known them for a while.
Yeah, we're old now, so it's like it feels like growing up. But yeah,
El Dippy Goose.
El Dippy Goose.
¿Cómo? Dippy Goose, pero aquí nosotros le decíamos el Dippy Goose.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, I've been seeing those dudes play in fucking crazy ass bands for like 12, 14 years.
And the Necrot, they are also playing Candelabrum.
Wow.
Yeah.
They will play this year at Candelabrum. Yeah. Really good guys. It's a funny story. They came for the first time to the Acheron Fest. It was a New York bar, I think.
Yeah.
And one of my friends, Graham from Lecher's Gaze, he said, "Hey, we should go to the pyramids and say, Can I come with my friends? These guys play death metal. The band is called Necro. Let's go. Yeah, cool guys. No, and the next thing is, they explode and they are big.
Blown up.
Oh, I went to the pyramids with these guys on that specific period of time, and now they are huge.
I love Lecher's Gaze, by the way.
Oh,
that
really?
band rocks.
Yeah, they play here just once, and now Graham lives in Australia, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gabo took us to the pyramids once with our old band.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he gave us a little bit of on the way there, too. It was the fucking craziest experience of my life, dude.
First time that they came 10 years ago.
Wow.
10 years ago, they toured with a band called Lucrota.
Yeah.
Tenían una banda más punky.
Sí.
They used to have this kind of dark crust. I don't know. But
we wanted to be a metal band, but we didn't know how to do it.
Okay. They were really good. I still have photos of them, like real photos.
Wow.
Of some shows.
Yeah, we did.
These guys should tell you about their food experiences on the city. They have had some crazy stuff also too.
Here in Mexico, you mean?
Yeah.
We ate
We have
crickets.
not stopped eating.
What's the? Sorry, before you say that, what's the Cuauhtémoc revenge? Moctezuma's revenge.
La venganza.
You know that? You know that saying?
My dad
Moctezuma
warned me about it when I was younger, yeah.
Moctezuma revenge is when you get the diarrhea.
Pero
Not
they
yet.
know.
He hasn't
they
gotten us yet.
Saben más el mal del puerco. Evil of the pork.
Evil. You should form a band with that name, Evil of the Pork, and the lyrics should be about like diarrhea.
No, it's like sun.
Oh yeah, like
Just low riff.
Yeah. So I'm curious how you met Leo and how Leo get involved with you guys. I mean, Leo is our local hero.
He is a local
he's the
national
best.
treasure and
When-
an international treasure.
I remember when I met Leo, it's like damn, this guy is not human. He's like a machine. And every time that I saw Leo, it's like wow. He was like, wow. And suddenly we start to talk. It's like for me, it's like a hero, you know. It's like, oh, it's Don Leo. You know? And suddenly we start to talk and become friends. But in the beginning, it was really a shock to see Leo play. But I mean, I'm glad that he played with you guys. But how you met each other and how Leo get involved with you?
Yeah, I'm gonna take just the full title of band historian from here to forever. Just a heads up, but we met Leo in 2018. Warp Chamber did. We went on a tour with Annapurna with Gabo over there. Mm-hmm. We did a West Coast tour, like 10 shows, and it was there. We had played shows. I'd done shows with Gabo and Annapurna in California. Mm-hmm. And then they did that Mexico tour with our old band, and they had a different drummer before, and then Leo was playing drums for him. And basically, how it goes is, yeah, we had a great time on tour, you know, just got like,
We clicked.
yeah, I got wickedly high.
We're all douchebags. We're all stupid guys.
Yeah, and Alan, our guitar player, who's not, I guess we're using fake names, Shitbag, who's isn't who isn't here today. No, I'm just playing. But he was our previous drummer. He plays guitar now, and him and Alan, Leo and Alan grew up playing similar like rudiments and like out of similar like music books and shit like that, right?
Both percussion kids.
Yeah, like drum line and all the rudiments, all the stuff. And it's crazy because Alan, as a former drummer and now playing guitar, it's the only guitar player I've played with that feels like playing with another drummer. Like really,
interesting.
I can rely on him keeping time, and that is fucking weird as a drummer because you always keep time and everybody follows you.
Yeah.
it's
He writes music as a drummer, as opposed to writing music as a guitar player.
And it's a very interesting and unique thing where you just forget about keeping time.
Yeah.
As a drummer, that is very crazy.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Because it's the same like when. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I mean, this is your fucking interview, man.
No.
You want to? Yeah. So I guess in 2020, I don't remember if I think I hit up that guy Gerardo from Total Death to see if we could play, and maybe at like one point, and then he finally got back to us and asked us if we could play one of his festivals, and so we had asked Leo if he'd be down to play drums, since Alan had stepped down from the drums due to a personal or to like an injury. And Leo said, "Yeah, fuck it, let's go." And then from there, we the show got canceled. The tour got canceled because of COVID, you know. So it got pushed back. And then like 2 years later, we got asked to play again. And so we hit up Leo again to see if it would work or to see if he was still interested. And he said, "Yeah." So we flew down like 8 or 9 days before the show and rehearsed and tried to pull together some new material and some old material, and you know, it was a rocky show, but we had fun. The fast moments were fast. It was a cool show, and then from there we flew Leo up, you know, and we jammed and it went well, and so we decided to book some U.S. shows with Leo, and that was actually that first round of gigs was actually with Degraved, which Nick is the main songwriter from, and Logan, they all play in now, you know, So from there, yeah, it's just kind of like worked out. It's been like 3 years, and yeah, he's the best. We'll import him any day, you know. We'll
Definitely, he's the best.
yeah, and we just get along well, you know. It's awesome.
How hard is to create music? Because you know, Leo spent a lot of time here in Mexico, and you guys live in different places. I mean, for us, happened something similar when our drummer moved to England to study.
So your drummer's Gerardo? You're in Venom Sabatai?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, sick. That guy's cool, man.
Thanks. Sweet. So it was something similar. It was really, really hard to create music, and rehearsals are impossible. But now Gerardo lives in another state and still complicate to organize shows. But I mean, in other country, I guess is more a challenge. So how you manage the distance and to create music and rehearsals and all the logistics to play.
Yeah, it's just all about, you know, planning it out, planning ahead, making sure that we can, you know, when we're spending time together, we're able to dedicate that time to playing music and doing what we love, which right now it's eating tacos and playing. But you know what I mean? It's kind of like, you know, what are you doing in May, man? What's up? Cool. Let's book something, you know, like, you know, just months out, booking stuff in advance and making sure that, you know, we're seeing each other and able to keep everything alive.
Yeah. And for you, Leo, your experience playing at distance?
Well, it's like crazy because, like we said, we clicked. Like we all are friends now. And as a band, the ideal is having your friends, your local friends in the same city, jamming together, having some beers over practice, and that's it. But for us, it's like we are separate, and then we try to book, like they said, in advance for me to go up there, fly, and jam, also have some fun, and like hang out. But over time, it became kind of hard to keep up with 5 bands, you know, Viejos, Anapura, Descartes Acant, Warp Chamber, and Degraved. And last year for me was very crazy, where I was on tour all year.
Wow.
I did more than 100 shows.
Wow,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
So I guess for me, I just took the experience of being a drummer and playing in bands to the max I could. Just play every weekend and the most shows I could. And it's crazy because like music has showed me my best friends, Gabo and Danny and Anapura and Jordi Viejos. So right now also joining Warp Chamber, we got along so cool, and with Nick also, with Degraved. So I just feel blessed to be surrounded by the best people I know, like the sickest fools. They listen to the best music. They have like the best music taste in video games and shit.
Yeah.
So I guess it would feel like a big effort if you tell the story to anybody. It would be like, whoa, you fly up and then you practice and then go back home. But I guess it's worth it too. And it comes with sacrifices too, like leaving Viejos and Anapura with my best friends. That was like hard, but also like we were saying, expanding your mind and your body and like playing this crazy music and even heavier than Viejos or Anapura is fast as fuck, but it's different genres, and it's very appealing too. Like these guys also push you to be better at playing and connecting your antennas, like we were saying. So it's crazy. It's a it's a badass experience. The best thing in life.
For sure.
We love you, Leo.
Everyone loves Leo.
A round of applause for Leo. What about weed in Portland? Seattle.
Dude. The general weed in the States is the fucking best, dude. But Portland is super sick. It's like one of the best weeds I've tried. Cheap price, which is rare. But I would say I want to give a shout out to Denver and Colorado.
Calm down, baby.
Is it better? No. Pregunta. No, I was just gonna ask something silly about weed. Do you have to pay a lot of taxes when you buy it?
In theory, the legal weed taxes from the legal weed is supposed to go to help schools, or education or roads, public utilities, etc. Who knows if that actually goes to where it says it does, but in theory, the taxes are supposed to help.
That's cool.
But it's fucking cheap. The market's so saturated.
Yeah.
So it's cheap. Okay.
It's cheap and really good.
You can get like
in
an
the
eighth of
Northwest.
weed for $5.
Yeah,
You're living in the paradise.
I have a good friend in LA, and over a year ago I asked him about like the black market and shit like that, and he's like, I still have my guy, whatever that means.
Oh yeah, for sure. Keeping it old school.
Yeah. California is a little bit different. It kind of depends on the state that you're in, because every U.S. state has different laws and regulations, and some of them it's not even legal. So we're blessed in the Northwest because Oregon and Washington are really great.
Wow.
¿Tocaron juntos en el Northwest Terror?
No, they had to cancel the Terror Fest
last
year.
Leo was waiting for his visa, but we got Anapura on the gig, and they had a sick ass show, so it worked out for them.
Fucking governments.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Right, and then now it's like crazy times for me moving between both countries.
Yeah.
It's getting fucked up. But it's still working out. I guess music, it's the best thing ever. So it fucks over borders, Descartes, we're going on tour again to the States, and these guys are coming. So I guess we're building a good relationship between bands and like both countries.
Yeah, I mean, Mexico is South America in general is very legendary for the crazy crowd for metal scene and punk scene. Not for stoner doom, but for your kind of music, people are crazy. So what are your expectations for your show here in Mexico? I know a lot of people is waiting for this show.
That's
I have
awesome
no
to hear.
expectation.
It was really curious because Reverence played like weeks ago, and people attend the show, but nobody feels like super excited. But when they announced Castelumbra, Reverence, and you guys, the people suddenly start to say, "Oh yeah, of course, this is the fucking best lineup," and it's like these guys played just like weeks ago, and nobody cares. And suddenly the people start to care just because we have this connection with bands from outside. So the expectation of the idea of the fans is always like that. If a band from outside came to Mexico, everybody feels like this is the best stuff or the best thing in the world. So that's why people start to create expectation about the shows. And I hear a lot of people will come to the show and exist a lot of expectation.
I'm really glad people are excited for the show tomorrow. That's going to be awesome. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe when you have seen a local band before, you get jaded a little bit. That doesn't mean that the band doesn't kick ass though.
I agree.
You're not gonna find sicker death metal than Reverence of Paroxysm or Castle Umbra.
Oh,
yeah,
they
for
fucking
real.
rip, dude.
Yeah, and I haven't seen them before, so I'm fucking stoked to see both of those bands.
Yeah,
They're-
I mean,
They're the best bands now.
Yeah,
Here.
definitely.
And they're about to go on tour with our friends from Seattle, Caustic Wound,
Okay.
in Europe, which is another cool like connection, bridging the gap.
yeah, we were just talking before you arrive about how'd you say caustic wound?
Caustic Wound, yeah.
Yeah, I was saying that I just heard the name and saw the T-shirts, but I tried to look them on Instagram, and they're not on and that makes them more appealing to me and more legit.
Yeah, they're keeping it old school.
Yeah, and more more legit, more true, as we say in Mexico.
Yeah, I think they're one of the in my personal opinion, one of the best bands from our area.
I listen
Most
to them.
talented, most like style. They got the most style. They're an incredible band.
Yeah, for sure. But it's interesting because Mexico has a lot of metalheads, but like a lot of metalheads. And for some reason, there hasn't been a Mexican band that has crossover, right?
Yeah.
I think yes.
In the underground.
But not to the point of like having a Sepultura, like a Mexican Sepultura.
Okay.
I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
Cenotaph, but it's more a little
Cenotaph.
underground. Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm a fan. I saw them not too long ago. But
I think they start to be more, ¿cómo se dice? Valorados.
appreciate.
Appreciate in these days.
Later they were more.
Yeah.
I mean, they played
yeah.
recently in the
Maryland Death Fest.
Maryland Death Fest.
Yeah, I watched that
Right.
set.
dope.
You're right.
Yeah, it was
So
sick.
I think we have these bands, but the people start to appreciate late,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's like
little
that.
bit at a
And sadly, mostly of these bands are not playing anymore. Just a few bands like that, like
Cenotaph.
probably other one is Semican, for example. They play a lot.
But they're
of-
newer.
Yeah, different style.
Yeah, different style.
but
Yeah,
they
yeah.
are really recognized for
Yeah, they're playing a lot.
metalheads.
Yeah, but that's newer as opposed to like Sepultura has been doing it for 40 years and probably 5 years into their career they jump into, I don't want to say mainstream, but they were playing like huge. And Mexico and I'm not saying this because I'm Mexican, but has a lot of great talent, a lot of, great
Transmetal.
musicians in everything, but especially in metal. But I don't know why they.
What do you think it is?
Okay, I'm gonna be very honest, and I don't want to scratch some furniture, as we say in Mexico. No quiero rayar
You don't want to
muebles.
piss anyone off.
That's a good phrase.
Yeah. I think it's because Mexican bands try to copy American bands, so which is okay. It's an influence, but you still have to have your, as Roman said, your identity as Sepultura. You heard Bestial Devastation, and you listen the Igor's, like we were talking, groove, and you're like, this guy has to be Latino, and I think Mexican metal musicians recently are starting to use that into their favor, but the talent is there. The talent is there.
I would not agree with that because
You disagree?
Yeah, I disagree
Okay,
with
that's
that.
why.
I think it's more complicated. It's because we live in a place where the economic, politic, and other stuff works in a different way for us. I mean, for Vinum Sabati, we need to work 10 times more hard just to book a show at a tour in Europe. And we can go to the United States because it's almost impossible. And talking about financially, it's impossible to organize a tour there. I mean, it costs a lot, the visa. So all these kind of things, and of course the Mexican, how can I put, our education as Mexican is so different than our education as Americans, or even people from Argentina. ¿Cómo se argentinos?
Sí, Argentina.
Yeah.
It's different. So here you grow and you always look the American bands or the European bands as gods, and you don't care about the local talent. So, and you can see that in your DNA and continue. Even if the bands work really hard, they have talent, it's impossible to have a proper venue here, because if somebody open a good venue, the Narcos appears and they need to close the venue. So if you need to ask for some funds to the government for a cultural travel, it's impossible because corruption. So only friends or friends can get access to that amount of money or that program. So I guess it's more complicated. It's not like just, as you say, that's why I disagree. It's not just about because we want to copy American bands or European bands. I guess it's the context. So
For sure.
if we have access to a proper venue, if we have access to funds, if we have access to travel to United States in the easiest way, or book a show in Europe more easy, it will be the different history. But so sadly, it's not possible. So we need to work really, really hard, and that's why when a band tell the story to Americans or Europeans, they value or they really care about our work, and that's the cool thing, because the people care and support your art. So for us, it's always hard to go to Europe, but we realize the people care and the people support you. Buy a T-shirt, and that's the other thing. In Mexico, usually the fans can allow to buy merch because it's really expensive, and people live with the basics,
Yeah,
I-
totally.
In Europe, people can buy a T-shirt, a beer, and it's like it's nothing. It's
Yeah.
like, I guess that's my
Yeah,
answer for
No,
that.
absolutely.
I
I think-
agree. I think it's a mix of both. I think so. Yeah,
and I think
I agree with you.
I've played shows, around the world, and I think like more often than not, you'll encounter middle class or rich kids, who are able to like have equipment and go to lessons as a kid, and afford the spare time, and it's not like a rule. There's so many exceptions, and there's so many people from different walks of life, but that's definitely been my experience in underground music, is there's like usually a decent amount of privilege,
No, for sure. And what Roman said, I have to agree. Also, like in metal in Mexico, the people that can afford to go outside and play by themselves are like you said, like middle class people and rich upper class. That's how you say, upper class people.
Yeah.
They can afford to like DIY, do it, or do it themselves.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like everywhere, the politics and economics make the difference.
Yeah.
And that's, you're right when you're saying, whenever I'm in the States and people ask me about the scene in Mexico, I say it's awesome, but it's very hard.
It's really
because
hard.
like every show, if there's 20 people working, they all need to be paid.
Exactly,
The guy who's selling beer, the guy who's making food, the people in the venue, the sound engineer, and like everywhere. Also, like in the States, I would say the culture is very cool because people really dig merch and the records. People value records and vinyls and stuff. And then Europe, it's different. Like I would say most of the countries have like government support for culture.
Exactly.
And then venues are not worried about selling beer.
Exactly.
And then even about how many tickets they sell, they pay bands. Even if there's 5 or 100 people, and because some of them are supported by government to make culture keep going.
That's true.
And here is extraordinary when you find a real promoter who pay you for your work.
Yeah,
That's that's like this is super strange. What happened here? And that's for me the big difference. But I would love to add something. Even if we have this hard condition to say something, we create an amazing community. That's why we know each other. We organize shows with Gabo, with you, with other bands. People come and we offer to the people a good show. We try to be more professionals, even if we don't have the big PA or whatever. And at the end, you connect with people from around the world. And that's why you are here, guys, because it's a community. And at the end, it's not about the money. It's not about politics, economic. It's about friendship. It's about music, and it's about art.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that's why we are here.
Right, connecting.
That's a great
Yeah.
brand.
Connecting.
Fuck
Yeah.
Well, it's really awesome to be able to be here and to be able to experience that community. That's why I love traveling. That's why I love playing music.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
think
great to be
traveling
here.
is one of the best things someone can do. If you can afford to travel, you just do it.
Yeah.
You learn a lot.
So,
Yeah, and one other thing I wanted to add just to like the last subject that we're talking to, it's about just like bands from Mexico or whatever. It's just like, there's so many Mexicans in the U.S. that are like contributing to underground music in general, and you can't really like
For sure.
appreciate
It's
American
ever.
music and separate like, Latino musicians from that, especially in hardcore and metal and,
Oh, yeah,
all of these
absolutely.
things. So I don't think there is this like purely American thing.
That's interesting because one of my favorite bands is Fear Factory, and the guitar player Dino.
Yeah.
And the drummer Raymond, or even Napalm Dead, the guy from Mexico, the guitar player who died,
Jesse
Pintado.
sí.
Who else?
Feria.
Brujeria. Yeah, they're American.
So-
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
that you would consider on the same level, you know what I mean?
yeah, for
That's
sure,
like,
for
yeah.
sure. I mean, Dino Casares from Fear Factory is American, but he's like, or actually he was born in Mexico. So yeah, that's a very good point that you brought, because I didn't see it that way for sure.
Yeah, and well, nos quedan 10 minutos, o Leo, puedes invitar a toda la gente al show de...
Ahora sí en español.
Ahora sí en español, carnal.
Si no se han ido, si no se han aburrido de escuchar inglés, pues vamos a estar Reverence to Paroxysm y Castle Umbra, que pues para la gente que conoce a Antimo, que también es una leyenda local, y nosotros estamos muy emocionados de tocar con él. De hecho, Warp Chamber y Degraved estaban muy interesados en tocar con Antimo y hacer esa conexión. Entonces, como bandas locales, tenemos un platillo muy fuerte que es Reverence to Paroxysm y Castelumbra. Y ahora pues también traemos a Degraved y Warp Chamber del Pacific Northwest. Vamos a estar mañana en el Fuck Off Room a partir de las 8. El costo de la entrada es de 250 pesos. Y como estábamos hablando, es un cartel, un line-up que tiene mucho que ofrecer. Va a estar muy chido. El lugar es nuevo, yo no lo conozco, pero he escuchado que pues obvio como un lugar nuevo, PA nuevo, va a sonar muy bien, y pues creo que hay mucha expectativa con este show. Entonces los invitamos mañana a estar por allá en el Fuck Off Room, y es el único show, no tocamos en otra ciudad. Warp Chamber y Degraved estuvieron de acuerdo realmente, como hablamos, en poner su dinero, gastarse su dinero en los vuelos, en venir a tocar por el gusto, no necesariamente por interés de sacar una lana o que algo pase con el merch, ¿no? Realmente esta vez por la conexión de que yo estoy por acá y que tenemos muchos amigos, Anapura y muchas bandas otras en común que somos amigos, entonces ellos están muy emocionados de tocar por acá. Y pues ojalá que mañana se note la respuesta también.
Cáigale a cotorrear al máximo. Death metal satánico del mero chido, por supuesto.
Sí.
¿Tienen horarios de bandas?
Sí, el show va a empezar a las 8 y la primera banda es Castelumbra.
Que lo descubra la gente.
Ah, sí, o vayan mañana.
Anda haciendo iris.
Es que
Lleguen
yo
temprano
mañana
a ver a
toco,
todas las
güey.
bandas.
A
Lleguen,
ver,
lleguen
vaya y
temprano a ver a
descubra.
todas las
Descubran,
bandas.
y quédense hasta el final, o sea, porque creo que es un platillo bien chido. Hay mucha diferencia entre las bandas, a pesar de que estamos hablando de que es un género en común. Creo que las 4 propuestas tienen lo suyo muy único, entonces vale la pena, porque a lo mejor no es tan fácil tener este tipo de shows, más allá de que en México ahorita hay como una creciente con los festivales. Y ahí está la propuesta, y ahí puedes encontrar muchas bandas, muchas diferentes opciones. Pero pues este es un show chido que está aquí a la mano, creo que en una zona céntrica y fácil de fácil acceso, ¿no? Para
Sí.
todos.
Buen precio, accesible. O sea, para la calidad de show que es, el 250 varitos,
Sí.
está bien, ¿no?
Sí,
¿no?
Sí. Sí, pues anímense y nos vemos por allá mañana. Ahí los esperamos a todos. Otra vez Warp Chamber, Degraved, Castelumbra y Reverence to Fire
Folk of Room.
en el Folk of Room.
How's your Spanish? Did you understand?
Yes. Chido.
Solo saben groserías.
Claro. Classic. Only the bad words.
Only the bad word.
What's your favorite bad word?
That's how we start.
Say it, it's alright.
It's alright. It's alright.
Oh, come on, pinche.
Pinche, that's your favorite?
You can use it for anything.
Yeah, for sure. O chingón también.
That's a bad word.
Yeah. Technically, it
Like
is.
fuck yeah.
Oh,
Fuck yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Fuck yeah.
I've got some old ladies to apologize to. That
Yeah, you don't want to say chingón in front of your grandma.
whoops. Okay, my bad. Gotta start drafting my public apology then.
Yeah, cancelled.
Muy bien, pandilla, pues vamos a despedirnos de este programa. Muchas gracias por venir. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having
It
us.
was a pleasure to talk
Thank you
to
so much.
you. And gracias a los muchachos por venir una vez. It's hard to get together. We do the show, two of us or one, because we're always doing things.
Yeah.
But it's good to have. Es bueno tener a todos acá reunidos. It's good to have all you here and have a great show tomorrow. Tengan un excelente show. Cuídense mucho, pandilla. Nos estamos escuchando los jueves a las 5 aquí en el Overdrive. ¿Algo que deseen agregar?
Anything you want to add?
No, just thanks for having us, and yeah, we really appreciate it. It's great to meet you guys. It's great to hang out with Gabo. It's great to hang out with the fellas. So thanks for giving us something to do. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you all tomorrow.
Esto.
Nice.
Thank you.
Muy bien.
Mañana, pandilla.
Cáiganle mañana al Folk of
Ocho
Room, banda.
puntuales.
Adiós.
Ahí se ven.